All right, what is good, peoples? Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 298. The album that I would like to review tonight is Outkast with their debut album, Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik, released in 1994. If you guys followed me for a while, at least like a little over 10 years, you guys would know that I already did a review on this album. But the reason why I'm doing this is because with certain albums I did in the past, I would like to do a revisit. Basically like kind of do like a more emphasis on the songs and the lyricism and things like that. Because at the time I wasn't really well versed with some of the albums and stuff. I did my research and that kind of thing, but I just kind of want to do a refresh. I think it was old because certain albums like these definitely need a in-depth review. So that's one of the main reasons why I did it. Started this channel is because um, a lot of albums, especially when I first started back in like 2012, 2011, 2012, nobody was really doing album reviews like with about these albums. They would do like like the newer albums that came out at the time, and it would usually be like 5 minutes or what a kind of thing, and things of that nature. And at that time, I don't think YouTube was allowing people to record long full length videos like that like they do now. So that being said, so I will title this Hip Hop Album Review Part 298, Outkast, Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, and revisit in parentheses right next to it, so kind of give you that idea. And there's certain numbers that I would like to do over time, so just got a lot going on, so I'm in the process of moving by Friday, so basically, I'm gonna be pretty much out of commission. And I don't really post videos like that, but I'm gonna try to crank in some of these videos at least. Try to do it before I move and stuff like that. So let's get it. All right. So let's get into the album. Outkast is a hip hop duo from Atlanta, Georgia, East Point, Atlanta, Georgia to be exact. That's the neighborhood that they came from. For those who don't know what Outkast are, they're consist of two members. You got Big Boy, and you got Andre 3000 or Three Stacks, whatever you want to call them, that kind of thing. All right. So they got their start back in the early 90s, particularly 1992. They met in high school and that kind of thing, and then they became friends and that kind of thing. They would battle people in school. The typical hip hop stories you would hear from the legendary artists from yesteryear and that kind of thing. Like, people don't really do that no more. It's like that's like a lost art. And then they actually got discovered by Organized Noise, that kind of thing. And at the time, they weren't even called Outkast. They were called a different group. They called themselves Two Shades Deep, and that kind of thing. And at the time, Organized Noise, rest in peace to Rico Wade, by the way. At the time, they were working with LaFace Records, and so since they discovered Outkast, Organized Noise at the time was working with TLC, particularly with the remixes and that kind of thing. And then so how they got put on is that Organized Noise was they were hired by LaFace Records, L.A. Reid and Babyface's record label together, LaFace, L.A. Reid, Face, get it? So yeah. Anyways, they got hired by Organized Noise to do some remixes for TLC, from their first album, on the TLC tip. Dope album, by the way. Even though I'm more of a crazy, sexy, cool kind of guy, but that first album is dope. It's kind of underrated if you ask me. But they basically what I'm getting at is organized got with Outkast. Outkast rapped on some of those remixes that they did for TLC, and that's basically what that got them signed to LaFace Records. And actually they were the first hip hop act in general to be signed to LaFace Records, because LaFace Records is more R&B. So and then also from what I understand, the Tennessee song by Arrested Development, who are also from Georgia, definitely helped that them getting signed to Outkast. But once again, I think it was more so of the work that they did with TLC, with the remixes and that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's pretty much how we got this album, man. And you know, they got signed to LaFace Records, and then, you know, the rest of the history, started working on the album. I think, you know, basically from like probably like 92, 93 is like when they started working on the album. And, you know, this album came out in like, you know, I think like early or mid 1994 or something like that. So yeah, this is what the album looks like, all right? So let me show you what the album looks like. All right, you got these two brothers right here. All right, pretty dope. Kind of has like that 70s like sun glaze funk kind of look to it. Pretty cool. All right. This is the track listing. Show you what the album looks like. All right. Because of YouTube censorship issues, I do have to cover this. So basically, yeah, it's like a naked chick. You know, all naked, kind of cool. But like I said, because of YouTube purposes, we can't really show everything for obvious reasons. So, plus, you know, I think kids do watch my shit, so I gotta be careful, you know, that kind of thing. I try to get, you know, shadow banned, you know how YouTube like to do. Alright, show you what the album looks like. Pretty cool. Yeah. Back when they used to dress up, you know, in street clothes, you know what I'm saying? Pretty cool. Open it up, got the album credits. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. All right. Now, let's get into... Oh, so production is done by Organized Noise. Organized Noise does the production of the whole album. So just so you guys know, so that gets that out of the way. Let's get into the features. The features include Goody Mob. Yeah, basically Goody Mob. There are some people that are not I mean, they're credited. I wrote it down, but I know that Joy, the R&B singer Joy, who was like kind of affiliated with them, who was Big Gibbs' baby dad, baby mama, and that kind of thing. She's actually featured on this album, but I wrote it down in the lyrics and stuff like that. The singles of this album is three singles. The three singles include Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik, or self-titled, Players Ball, and Get Up, Get Out. Those are the three singles, alright? So now let's get into the meat and potatoes. We're gonna get into the intro. The intro starts off with Peaches. Basically, what I got from this intro is basically a chick named Peaches. She does kind of like a spoken word, basically like explaining what Outkast is, and you know, it's over like a psychedelic rock sample, that kind of thing. Basically, you know, Outkast represents that funk, represents ATL to the fullest, and you know the surrounding areas like Decatur and, you know, Gwinnett, you know, Roswell, you know, all those places. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the whole Atlanta. Shout out to Stonebridge, shout out to Brookhaven, shout out to East Point, you know, all those placements, Roswell, Alpharetta, all that, you know. So shout out to them. Shout out to the whole Georgia. Georgia's dope. All right. So that was track one, Peaches. Track two, My Intro to Let You Know. Pretty dope song right there. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Dope way to start the album. Love the beat for it. Basically, what I got from this song is basically like kind of them introducing themselves, letting you know who we are, that kind of thing, as a people, as a rap group. That's basically what I got. I love the beat for it. I like the line by Andre when he said, take a number, I caught you in the slumber, I hit you for a lick, I'm in the slammer for the summer, but now it is the fall, I'm having a ball, making my nickel sack crawl, till my niggas got to serving when they deep and when they call. So I thought that was pretty good. I really enjoyed that right there. So that was track two, My Intro to Let You Know. Track three, Ain't No Thing. I fucking love this song, man. I love the beat for it. Very dope. It's another one of my favorite songs. My opinion, that easy could have been a single, especially for that time period. That should have been a single, in my opinion. Love that joint right there. Like again, all the beats are all produced by Organized Noise. Basically, this song is like a gangster track, you know, just like a braggadocious gangster track. Because if you guys know Outkast, they're not really known for the gangster shit, but on this album, you get a little doses of that, and really enjoyed that. Ain't no thing but a chicken wang. Whew, love that. I like the line by Big Boy when he says, I ran the streets and broke my curfew because I give a shit. I carry guns and butcher knives because I was steadily in the mix. Yeah, it was so hard to say goodbye. I'm a man now. I'm at the end of my street. So it's time to take my stand now. I called a while because it is time to take the streets. So you ain't got the vertebrae or big enough nuts. Retreat, I'm ready to wet them up like cereal. Just an international player coming through with your stereo. Whoo, fire, man. Yeah, Big Boy was going in. People sleep on Big Boy, man. People always give 3 Stacks the problem, and 3 Stacks is dope, but I've always been more of a Big Boy kind of guy. Pause. But yeah, Big Boy's always been my favorite member. I feel like he doesn't get the just do. By the way, I gotta get his solo albums. I need to get those. So, but that's a whole different bill. It's not about that. We're talking about this album right here. But yeah, that's track 3. Ain't no thing. Love that joint right there. Track 4. Welcome to Atlanta Interlude. Basically, what I got from that is it's a skit. Basically, they're the plane is coming from somewhere. They land into Hartsfield Airport, which is the Atlanta Airport, just saying welcome to Atlanta. And basically the pilot saying if you look to your left, I think he said that you'll see like the Georgia Dome, like some of the monuments and that kind of thing. And if you look to your right, he's saying like this is the home of Outkast, the Red Dogs, which is like the it was like the corrupt tactical gang tactical team for the Atlanta Police Department. It's like kind of like equivalent to like Crash, but like they were like really grimy dudes, man. They were like kill drug dealers and like set them up and that kind of thing. Some Alonzo shit from Training Day. Basically, like, you get a whole bunch of people like that, you pretty much get Red Dogs. And I mentioned that when I did the Soul Food album by Goody Mob a couple years back. So, but yeah, basically talk about that. Say the home of the Lax, the Red Dogs, the players, the Lax, and all that stuff. So nothing too crazy, but it's pretty cool. That kind of thing. So that's track 4, Atlanta Interlude. Track 5 is self-titled track, or Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik. I believe this was the second single of the album. This was a cool track. Not one of my favorite tracks, but it was pretty cool. I do like the organized remix, and I do like the Diamond D remix. That one was pretty good. Basically talk about how they live their everyday life. That's basically what I got from the song. I do like the video. That video was produced by the now in prison P. Diddy, but when he went by Sean Puffy Combs, just kind of little give you trivia about that. Again, Big Boy catching bodies, man. I like the line when he said, "Catfish and grits is how my flow flows. Rolling steady in that caddy, but them 50 bottles gotta go. See, juice and gin used to be my friend from the beginning. Now I'm just a player. Sipping sauce now and then to catch a buzz like a bumblebee. Niggas who try to fuck with me get sprayed like a raid cause there ain't nothing to see. Fire. Whew. Andre, when he says, my heat is in the trunk along with that quad knock. No, my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. Jumping, you'll get sprayed. Dope shit right there. Like I said, I prefer the organized remix, which is pretty good. You can find on YouTube, and the Diamond D remix to that song. So that was track 5, Southern Plays of Cadillac Music, or the self-titled track. All right. Now we're gonna go to track 6, Goody Mob, featuring Goody Mob. One of the first appearances on Wax. It probably is their first appearance on Wax. Because he also they're featured on another song as well. One of my favorite tracks of the album, the Posse Cut. I think the song's about like 6 minutes long, but it's really dope. Love the beat for it. Shit goes hard. I like the line by Big Boy. Again, Big Boy killing shit when he says, yeah, I'm steady bucking. Motherfuckers not bucking them like Duck Goose. Heavily strapped. Yeah, nigga squeezing rhymes like that noose around your neck. You can't hang with this. See, ain't no thing to this. I show no pity, so take off because I is dangerous. I break some off like I was Beach Street. See, I be breaking. Speaking of break on out or get your life taken. Whew, fire. Love that. Big Boy killed that shit. Everybody did their thing, but I think Big Boy, he killed that shit. All right. So that's track 6, Call the Wild. Track 7, Players Ball. So this is their first single of the album. There is a remix version, which is the video version where it has like the piano version. I preferred that. But I love that version. I wish that version was on this album. I believe the version I'm talking about, I believe it's on the Christmas album that was on the that was released by LaFace Records a year earlier. It's like a Christmas album, and that song I believe was on that compilation album. I could be wrong about that. I know somebody in the description box or in the comment section will let me know, because I'm one of those people, like, I'm okay with being stand corrected, but do it respectful. Don't be like, ooh, dumbass. Not to say that people have done that, but I'm just saying, but because I'm learning too. So I learn everybody, but I just like to inform the people, because I don't know everything. I know a lot. I don't know everything. It's impossible. But getting back to this song, again, I prefer the remix or the reprise version. Like I said, which is the video version, and I like the line by Big Boy when he says, "Getting tipsy off the nog, high as hell off the contact smoke. They having a smoke out in my back seat. They passing herb. Rewind the verses cause it's in the air. I hit the parks, I hit the cuts. I'm hitting switches cause I'm switching from side to side, looking for hoes and snitches." Love that shit. So again, that song was actually featured on the Christmas album that LaFace Records put out the year prior. But again, I think the remix was on that album. So yeah, so I decided to throw it out there. So that was track 7, Players Ball. I do like the video, but I didn't really care for the album version. So, then we got track 8, Claiming True. This was a cool track. Basically in this song, they speak about, just like living in the hood. Basically, being able to survive, always being strapped and that kind of thing. That's basically what I got from that track. I like the line by Big Boy. Again, Big Boy doing his thing, man. I like the line where he said, "I pledge allegiance to the streets, that's where I grew it up, and made more money because my daddy never showed up. But fuck it, I'm on my own. I'm in my zone. Ain't nothing wrong. You don't belong. You let me stranded alone." Whew, fucking dope. Dope shit right there. Alright. So that was track 8, Claiming True. Track 9, Club Donkey Ass Interlude. Basically a pointless skit. It's just some dudes in the strip club, and probably Magic, whatever the place may be. Basically, trying to smash a stripper. You know what I mean? But you're like, yo, if I give you this, how much you do this for? That kind of thing. It's kind of pointless, but it's cool to show because it kind of gives you a glimpse of what happens in the strip clubs and that kind of thing. It's like very seedy and that kind of thing. All right, so that was track 9, Club Donkey Ass. Track 10, Funky Ride. So this is a song that's not featured Outkast. It's actually a song by a group that was part of this Dungeon family called Society of Soul. They have a dope album. They came out in '95 called Brainchild, which I did show you guys on one of my CD collections a while back, maybe a couple of years back. Really good album. I highly recommend you guys check that out. But basically, that's their song. Basically, it's an R&B track with them and that kind of thing. I believe it's Rico Wade, Big Rube, and Sleepy Brown. I think those are Sleepy Brown, Esperanza. I think that's it. I think it's 5 people. So basically, Organized Noise and Big Rube. Basically, that's basically it in a nutshell. That's Society of Soul, and like I said, they came out with an album called Brainchild back in '95. So I highly recommend you guys check that album out. Very underrated. All right, so that was track 10, Funky Ride. It's a cool track. Nothing too crazy. It's not a song that I really go to like that. It's alright. It's alright. All right. Track 11, Flim Flam Interlude. Another pointless skit. It's basically like a dude that approached 2 men, trying to sell them stolen jewelry and that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, not too crazy, but again, even though it's pointless, it's pretty cool to see how it goes in Atlanta, especially in the '90s, like how it is and stuff like that. So even though it's pointless on my point, but it's cool to see how it was back then. Let me get a swig of water. All right. Now we're gonna get back to one of my favorite tracks, third and final single, "Get Up, Get Out." Fucking love this song right there, man. Very fucking dope song. Yes, that song was featured on ATL with Ti. That movie with him and Lauren London and the little kid Ant. I forgot his name. He's I think that's Tracy Ellis Ross. I think that's her son or whatever the case may be, or the sister or whatever the case may be. But anyways, great song, love it. Featuring Goody Mob. Basically, the premise of the song is basically, yo, get your ass up and be motivated and do something productive. Whether you get a job, you volunteer, but get your ass and do something, man. Stop bitching and complaining. Oh, the white man this, or the man's bringing me down. No, you bring yourself down. You're your own worst enemy, man. That's basically what they get. Get up and get out and do something, man. So that's basically the premise that I got. And they did have a video for it. Very fucking dope. I think CeeLo fucking did his thing on that song. I like the line when he said, "Damn, what's up with all these questions? You act as though you know something I don't. Do you have any suggestions? Because every job I get is cruel and demeaning. Sick of taking out trash and toilet bowl cleaning, but I'm also sick and tired of struggling. I never thought I'd have a resort to drug smuggling." That's some fucking real shit, man, because I know it's tough times nowadays where, like, they just cut SNAP and, EBT and that kind of thing. And a lot of people depend on that. And, people, I see people trying to incriminate themselves, trying to, like, they're going to steal from people, steal from the stores. Listen, don't give the government an excuse to give you, to do martial law. Like, we don't need that. There's always going to be, there's always going to be solutions to everything. So, but that's basically the premise of the song. Fucking dope. I think CeeLo had the best version. It's the most relatable because, we all work at a job that, whether it's right now or you did it in the past, where we had a fucked up job, like, where, like, you feel like you're stuck, you're not going anywhere, but you can't leave because, it pays the bills, a consistent paycheck. And, everybody here is living, and I'm pretty sure my viewers, we all working check to check, including myself. And it's one of those things, like, you just gotta stick with it, That's basically the best way I could describe it, man. But things will come along, but you just gotta stick with the fight. And that's basically what I got, man, from that song. So, yeah, great song. We need more songs like that nowadays. And a lot of people are not doing that because people would rather just tear people down and, that crazy shit. So, that high school shit. All right. Track 13, True That Interlude. Basically, it's a spoken word by Big Rube of Society of Soul. Basically, a spoken word poetry jam type of joint. Basically saying, like, to live life because tomorrow's never promised and fuck who everybody cares. Don't live by society standards and that kind of thing. So that's basically I got from that, the message I got from that. All right. Then we got track 14, Crumbling Herb. I'm just crumbling herb. I'm just crumbling herb. Fucking love that. As you guys know, it's a weed track. One of my favorite tracks right there. I like the line by Andre 3 Stacks when he says, "I'm crumbling, no time for fumbling, selling my sacks, watching my back, wetting them up like splish, leaving them in a splash of blood. The clock is ticking. Niggas from the block is missing." Fucking dope shit. He killed that right there. Big Boy, when he said, "I run my lyrics the way y'all want to hear them. Shoot my dice against the bricks the way I flicks them. Niggas so ring around the roses, diamonds around my neck from my flexing, but I'm running niggas over like a 94 Lexus, tested 10 millimeter, count 'em, nigga, fuck a 9. I added that millimeter for your niggas doing crimes and drive-bys. Kiss your ass bye-bye, sayonara, suckers. I flipped the script and turned the page. Ain't scared of you motherfuckers." Whew, fucking love that. So that was track 14, Crumbling Herb. Alright. Track 15, Hootie Hoo. It's another weed track. This was okay. I prefer Crumbling Herb over Hootie Hoo, but it was a pretty cool track. I do like the line by Andre. I think he had the best verse on this song where he said, Oh, it's Saturday night. I guess that's what makes it all right. Got an obese 20 sack, fully packed. It's so tight that it's busting out the seams. Yes, sir, I'm set. Oh, but let me tuck the 380 before I jet. Fucking dope. Kill that. Sound track 15, Hootie Hoo. I think Three Stacks had the best verse on that. Then we got track 16, Deep. Um, Dope track. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Um, Basically in this song, what I got from this is that basically, they pretty much dispelling black stereotypes and that kind of thing, and they pretty much speak more on like black empowerment and that kind of thing. So that's basically what I got from this song right here. Um, I like the line about Three Stacks when he said, "You heard it first. Put your master plan in reverse. I ain't the one with the curse. So disperse. Yes, catching plagues. Niggas catching nays. Niggas getting sprayed. Niggas on the way to the dead end. You won't catch me spreading no white thighs. I only see the Afro bitches up in my eyes. I don't eat no beef and surely not no pork. I used to drink that 8, but now I shove it down your throat. Whew, fire. Fire, 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 fire. Basically saying you don't fuck with white bitches, man. He's all about the sisters and that kind of thing. Like I said, black empowerment. So that's basically what I got from that. But I think Three Stacks had the best verse on that joint right there. That was his pocket. He was like waiting for that. And this is like one of the songs he was waiting for that moment. That was one of those for him. Alright. And then track 17, Players Ball Reprise. Basically, this is like the instrumental version of the remix. It's like very short. It's about almost 2.5 minutes long, but really dope. So if you guys never heard the remix and won't have an idea what it sounds like, this is basically what it sounds like. Like I said, if you go on YouTube, type in Players Ball, the video. Sometimes depends on which one you check on YouTube. More than likely they'll play the remix. I know when I first seen the video back in the early 2000s, it was the remix they played. So and that was very common in the 90s, like where like they'll play like the remix version on the video, but then when you get the album, it's like the fuck, it's not. I want the video version, not this bullshit. So basically same premise, but yeah, dope song right there. That's pretty much concludes the rest of this album, man. Very dope album, underrated. It's not an album that I really hear people talk about. I would say this is probably my second favorite album from them. Really enjoyed this album. Super underrated. I don't really hear people talk about this because people talk about the other albums, which I'll more than likely get into at some point. But yeah, really dope, very underrated album. Outkast in their rawest form. Dope production by Organized Noise. Recipes to Rico Wade. I know they're hurting right now with that shit. But yeah, Outkast, Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik, released in 1994. Long live hip hop.